Welcome to another video by Pharos Technology. Today we're going to talk about operators when you use them in queries. Operators in queries are like comparison operators, multiple mathematical operators, string operators, and Boolean operators. Now, we've had a previous video on comparison operators, so I'm not going to cover that in this particular topic. But the mathematical operators are what you would suspect: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You have integer division, which just gives you the whole number after dividing two integers. You have exponents, and you have the modulo or mod. The mod just gives you the remainder in an integer division. So mathematical operators, they're pretty easy to understand. You have two values, you add them, subtract them, multiply them, divide them, whichever you do that. Anyway, the next are string operators. String operators are, concatenation, the ampersand. If you have two string operations, you can also use the plus symbol in replacement of the ampersand, and that allows the double feature of being able to add the numbers together if the text in there is two numbers. So if it finds numbers, it'll add the numbers. If it finds text, it'll concatenate the text together. And then you have the like and the not like. You usually say it's like this string if you're using a wildcard. So it's like for the first three letters, for example, and then the star to wildcard the rest of the field. Or not like, meaning not like a particular value, so you can exclude values within the query or the data set. Okay. The next group is the Boolean operators. Now, Boolean operators are used in almost every query. You usually have more than one criteria, and if you have more than one criteria, you're going to use a Boolean operator. It's going to be either and or. And using and means that I expect this value and that value to be met as true. If you use or, it means I'm only expecting one of these two values to be true. And if one of these two values are true, then give me the record. You have what they call the exclusive or XOR that returns a true whether either expression 1 or expression 2 are true, but not both. So an exclusive OR basically says, I want one of these two to be true, but not both of them. And then you have the EQV or equivalent, returns a true when both expression 1 and 2 are true, or both are false. So because this one's so odd, I'm going to show an example. So let's open up our Access database and take a quick look at a query that I've built. And here I have the start, which will be an and. And if I want all that are in Connecticut and sales in the month of June, for example, so month of the sale date equals June. If I want that and I run that, I only have one record, okay? So I only have one record that in this case was in Connecticut and the sale date was the month of June. Now let's go look at OR. When we have an OR here, I'm going to click on the OR and we'll run it. And what we see here is, remember, OR allows you to have one case is true or the other case is true. Well, obviously also both could be true because that still fits the condition that one or the other is true. So what we're seeing here, if we alphabetize this, is that we have all these in Connecticut, and most of them are not in June, but one of them still is. It's our and case, remember? But one or the other is true. That is still one or the other is being true. In this case, both are true. And then when we get down here to the not in Connecticut states, we see all of those would have to be true because the state one, of course, is not true. So let's go look at another case. Now let's look at exclusive OR. An XOR, of course, then says one can be true, but the other can't, okay? So we have New York it's almost like an or in this case. Connecticut, but not in June. And we have all the rest, but that are in June. It's a lot like an or in this case. And remember, as we look at the definition of it, returns true when either expression are true, but not both. Very similar to an or. So let's go back to our database. Now let's look at that EQV. Now EQV is the weirdest of the three, or strangest of the three, EQV. And I'll take a look at that. Now what we're looking for is both of them being true or both of them being false. So let's look at, let's go ahead and alphabetize these again. So we have, this is not true, therefore this has to not be true. So that, but not in June. So all of these down here, none of these are in June. When we get to Connecticut, we have Connecticut like an and, in that Connecticut is in June. So both of them have to be true. And in the upper area here, both of them have to be false. Now below here, both of them have to be false again. And we have a lot of them that are not in Connecticut and not in June. And this is by far the largest data set. Now, what you'll find is in time that you'll use all of these. You'll find an instance where you need to separate data in this manner, and you'll tend to use them all. But by far, the most you'll ever do is use the and or the or as Boolean operators. So I hope this helps. If it has helped and you like it, hit that like button down there and subscribe to the channel. We'll hope to see you again later. Thanks.